My husband's friend sent him a text saying, "Look at your other phone." He doesn't have another phone. Basically, what the title says. Yesterday, my husband fell asleep on the couch with his phone on his chest. As he turned over, the phone dropped. I went to pick it up to make sure he hadn't accidentally cracked the screen, and the phone lit up with a text from his friend Amber which read, "Look at your other phone." There was also a second text which said, "Good night XXX." I put the phone back down on the ground, because I didn't want him to know I had seen it. When he woke up, he was looking frantically for his phone, and when I told him it fell, he looked relieved as soon as he picked it up. He started smiling when he replied to his messages. When we went to bed, I sat up all night waiting to see if he would take out this mysterious second phone, but he just went to sleep straight away, and never woke up again in the night. Is there a reasonable explanation for this? Did she accidentally text the wrong person? Do I confront my husband? Snoop. What the hell is going on? TL, Dr. Husband's friend sent a suspicious text. Now I'm questioning if he has a second phone. Update. So I looked everywhere for a second phone, house and car, and I couldn't find anything anywhere. My husband was in the shower, so I checked his phone to make sure I saw the message correctly, and it was gone. I'm really confused. Check your Wi-Fi for devices. Probably a texting app. She thinks it's a second phone but just a different number. Exactly. You can use Google Phone app for example and have a free, fully functioning second phone number, within your same device, for texting, voicemail, etc. Edit. Loved reading below the amount of non-cheating uses that a Google Voice number can have. I personally got mine when I moved to China for a year, and wanted to keep my American number, without having to pay for a monthly plan I wouldn't use. Wow, then in that case his friend is such an idiot. He got a different number for the whole purpose of secretly flirting with another woman, and that woman effing renders that whole secret plan completely useless by texting him flirtatious messages on his main number. I mean, really. I was cheated on once, and the other girl didn't know I existed. She texted his phone saying, "I know you didn't want me texting this number, but I left my phone in some clothes in your car and can't remember the other number." Dresses. Her phone was under my dresses. How dumb can someone be? I put that in quotations because I don't believe she didn't know. That one guy who killed his wife and kid, had a secret way of communicating with his mistress disguised as a calculator app. I never understood what he was doing with that calculator app, and it was never explained. If I remember correctly, it was an app that looked and functioned like a calculator if someone else were to open it, but if you type in a specific number that functions as a PIN code, it would open up to reveal the hidden messaging app. To be honest, the friend is pretty stupid here. Why on earth would you do that? Defeats the purpose of him having another phone. Cheaters are stupid. As a private investigator who deals with infidelity for a living, this is one of the biggest possible red flags. If I were you, I would remain as calm and natural as possible. Not letting him have any idea that you're aware of his shady behavior. He likely is using a texting app on his phone. That's a lot easier than going off and buying a second phone. But if he does have a second phone, it likely is in his vehicle like someone else suggested. How has his behavior been recently? Any changes? Has he been showering you with gifts, starting fights, being secretive, etc.? He's been starting fights constantly recently. If you have another chance to look at his phone, Google how to see the hidden apps. If you find evidence for cheating, film the evidence and lawyer up first. Hope it looks way worse than it is, but better safe than sorry. Edit. Also get an STD test. Personally, I wouldn't say anything just yet. That would give him the opportunity to delete and get rid of evidence. He clearly seems to think you are either dumb or too naive to suspect anything. Use that to your advantage. When I finally caught my ex cheating, his old phone was still signed into his email. I made copies of everything I could. Printed everything out. So when I started getting the bullshit answers, I just gave him a manila envelope with all the evidence I had gathered. Good luck. Hopefully this isn't as bad as it sounds. Are you friends with Amber? Can you straight up ask her? I'd probably snoop around the house/his car, and then confront him eventually if you can't find hard evidence. Especially if you find the mystery phone, it probably has a crazy passcode. This definitely worrisome. I'm sorry you have to stress about it. Are you friends with Amber? Can you straight up ask her? No, she doesn't really like me. Is it okay for Amber to send kisses? No, but she's always been overly friendly, so I'm not really shocked she was sending them. Text back. Can't find it, please call it. I think he already replied to her, but I should have done this. Uneasy face. When I was 16, I saw my BF got a notification on FB Messenger from his ex saying to message her on his other account. Turns out he was cheating. He had a second FB account, made just so he could talk to her. That, winky face, sent by her and him smiling while reading the messages makes me think he's definitely cheating, and probably mostly physically. Since you didn't see him use another phone, maybe he has a texting app that he uses and has the notifications off for it. That way, he wouldn't worry about you somehow finding the second phone. I would confront him about it. You can do it. It's much better than hanging onto the what ifs and going straight for the truth. Whatever happens, I hope you the best with it. If it doesn't end well, I hope you have friends/family around you to help you through it. Your husband's female best friend doesn't like you, is hostile towards you, overly affectionate with your husband, sending him texts that are fully of hugs and kisses and telling him to check his other phone? Your husband panicked thinking someone happened to his phone, immediately checks his messages, gets super happy, and then goes to bed. Sis. Come on sis, you know what this is. Stop lying to yourself and asking strangers on the internet what you already know. He could be using a texting app on his current phone. If this is true, he could have told her he has a second phone. This would explain why she said that. Or he has a physical extra phone. Regardless, this is scary. I don't advocate sneaking and snooping, but this some sketchy shit, girl. You're going to have to find out exactly what second phone really is and where it's at without him knowing. Edit. If you want quick answers, you can get it out of him by doing the following manipulation. 1. Sit him down. Close, nothing between the two of you. 2. Flat out look this man in the eyes and say, I know what you and Amber have been up to. 3. Don't say a word. Stay silent and let him blabber. 4. Don't break eye contact while he's talking, and when he stops for just a moment say you have one chance to be completely honest about this. 5. Silence again. If he's lying, he'll walk away. Or yell. He'll be extremely uncomfortable during this entire thing, so watch out. You're nicer than I am. If that were my boyfriend, I would have sat there and waited for him to wake up. When he was frantically looking for his phone, I would have waved it at him and said, looking for this. Looks like you got some messages from Amber. Definitely flat out confront him. Even if you find another phone, you're still going to have to confront him. You have evidence. Don't let him gaslight you either. You saw the messages with your own eyes. I'd tell him to show me the rest of the messages and start explaining. Period. You cannot be this naive, right? You're just praying there has to be another reason? Girl, I say this with as much compassion as there is, but this bitch is gonna be blunt right now because you need it. You know damn well there is no reasonable explanation for this shoot. He is frocking around on you, and probably has another app that is hidden on his phone. You need to tell him you know about his bullshit, and if he doesn't hand over the information so you can see how bad it is, you need to walk your ass to a divorce attorney. Tell him you will not be lied to or believe any bullshit. Show you the extra number or the app he is using for secret convos, or there is nothing to save. Get tested for all STDs. If he hands over the phone, screenshot and text yourself the pics of proof of his affair. Then go to a divorce attorney, and see what you need to do to serve divorce papers. I say get the proof of the affair first because depending on where you are, an affair may be a point in your favor for dividing assets etc. It might not be, but that's why you go to a divorce attorney. Get the proof while you can because if you confront and just view and don't get the proof, he will delete it.